Today, we're diving into the pretty startling world of Mohsin Hamid's novel The Last White Man. And let me tell you, it all kicks off with this single, totally bizarre event that ends up triggering this deep dive into identity, race, and, well, the very fabric of society.
Seriously, the whole book, the entire story, hinges on that one reality-bending sentence. It's not just about one guy's life getting turned upside down. This is the spark that sets the whole world on a new course. And get this, it's not presented as some fantasy or magic. It's just a fact, a stark, unexplained fact.
So, think about it. What happens when the very ground beneath your feet, the assumptions you've built your whole life on, just disappears? That's what Hamid's novel gets into. He uses this totally surreal transformation to dig into a very, very real personal crisis. And yeah, the societal collapse that comes right after.
So, let's dive in. Let's see this brand new, terrifying reality through the eyes of our main guy, Anders. And his first reaction? It is not what you might expect.
It's not confusion, it's not sadness, not even fear. His first gut reaction is pure, violent, murderous rage. He literally wants to kill the stranger he sees in his own mirror, a stranger he slowly realizes is him.
See, in his mind, he hasn't changed. He feels like he's been erased, wiped out, like his identity, his actual self, has been stolen. And this other person has been left in its place. It's this incredibly deep and just terrifying sense of loss. And this next part just brilliantly highlights that total disconnect he's feeling, right? Inside his head, his world has literally ended. But on the outside, the world just doesn't care. It's completely indifferent. The clerk doesn't bat an eye, doesn't question him, doesn't even really see him. He's become invisible in a completely new and frankly more horrifying way.
Okay, so as Anders is trying to wrap his head around all of this, the ripples, they start to spread out. They touch the people closest to him and start to expose all the cracks that were already there in his community.
He's desperate for some kind of connection, right? So he reaches out to Oona, this old flame from high school. But the thing is, she's completely drowning in her own grief. She just lost her twin brother. So here's Anders, looking for an anchor in this world that's just come completely unglued. But Oona, well, she's barely staying afloat herself.
And the reactions he gets from other people, they are just brutal. When he finally gets himself back to work at the gym, the very first thing his boss says to him is not, "Hey, are you okay?" Nope. It's this blunt, shocking statement about what he would have done. It's just a raw, unfiltered look into how the world is starting to view this transformation.
And this crisis, it really shows two totally different ways people can react. You've got Oona, who tries to take this mindful, almost serene approach to all the chaos. And then you have her mother, who just dives headfirst into online conspiracy theories. She starts seeing the whole thing as a plot against their kind and just fully embraces this narrative of fear and paranoia.
So you can see how this is going. What started out as this one guy's personal, isolated problem, it explodes into a national crisis. And as more and more people start to change, the actual structures holding society together begin to just visibly come apart at the seams.
And the escalation happens so fast. It's terrifying, really. It goes from being this weird story on the news to a public health crisis, then to a personal tragedy with a suicide, and then, boom, a total breakdown of civil order. Suddenly, there are armed groups roaming the streets. This fear, it starts to have a real physical impact on the town. The normal rhythms of daily life just stop. Store shelves are empty, people hoard supplies, nobody's on the roads at night. This thick mood of panic just takes over everything. The town itself starts to look like how everyone is feeling inside, panicked and broken. So as that old world, the old way of doing things, dissolves, you realize the fear isn't just about hoarding toilet paper. Nope, it's paving the way for something way more dangerous to come out of the shadows. And this is the point where the official systems, the ones we rely on, just start to fail. You've got armed militants, guys in combat gear, just patrolling the streets. And the police, they just stand by and let it happen. A whole new, unofficial power structure, one based entirely on force, starts to take root. And this might be one of the most chilling lines in the whole book. It's advice from Oona's mom to her own daughter. It's this one moment that shows you just how fast fear can make violence seem normal. It goes from being this terrifying last-ditch option to just practical, motherly advice. It's wild.
So, the book leaves us right here, on the edge of this huge unknown. By just ripping away the racial identity that an entire community was built on, Hamid is basically forcing us to ask, what actually holds us together? You know, when our most basic assumptions about who we are, and just as importantly, who we aren't, completely crumble, what's left? And maybe the bigger question is, what are we willing to do? Try to build something new from the rubble? Or just cling desperately to the wreckage of the world we used to know?